What's going on, YouTube? This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics Collectibles, and I'm just kind of hanging out on a Sunday, seeing who's available. If anybody wants to talk, chat, anything about comics or anything, because I am bored to death. And I figured, why not jump on and do an impromptu live stream? I have not been on here in quite some time doing a live stream. So we'll see if anybody jumps in and we'll talk with them, or if anybody wants to actually the StreamYard link, you guys can jump on with me. Come on, because I am just, like I said, bored out of my mind here on a Sunday. Not much going on in my area, just kind of hanging out. So, what's up going on, Darren Harvey, brother? What's going on, man? Talk to me. I'm doing nothing here on a Sunday. I figured I'd do a nice quick live stream, see what's going on. Anything you're collecting, Darren? Anything that you're looking for? To me, it's been so hard trying to find books that I actually want to buy right now. Outside of the big boys, I'm going to be releasing a video this week, probably going to be Wednesday, about upgrading books. I think now is a great time to upgrade your comic. If you have like a low grade comic or a mid grade comic you want a better copy of, I'm going to be releasing a video on how I do it, go through my process, and stuff like that. So I just actually upgraded a book, so you guys see that on Wednesday. Silver Age and Bronze Keys, of course, man. That's what we're looking for, right? I agree with that one. That's to me the best thing to be collecting right now. DC or Marvel, bud, or something else. To me, like, I'm a staunch Marvel collector. I do have some DC Batman stuff, but that's about it. Oh, nice. I am 55. Great pickup, bud. That's a good one. First Thanos. I've definitely had that book in my collection before, and actually that book was on the hot list not too long ago because it is starting to spike again, and I couldn't figure out why, because there must be a rumor out there that Thanos might be coming back for like a cameo. But either way, that's a great book to have. It's a monster key. Always awesome to add that one if you can. Anybody out there knows I've been trying to collect like raw books, but because things are still quite expensive, although they have come down a bit. I just, when doing a video on that Grail swap, that Grail upgrade that I'm talking about, like, I couldn't believe how far some of these things have dropped. So I think now's a great time to look for something like that if anybody's out there and interested, because it is really things are starting to come in. The last sales are far under on a lot of books what they were just a couple of months ago. So I think now's a great time if you're in the long game to pick up some big keys. But that's it, man. Right? Just hanging out here on a Sunday. Star Fox, he was in a Turtles post credit. Yeah, you know what though? I have a feeling I don't know where they're going to go with the Eternal stuff. Like, that movie did not do well, so I don't know if they're going to abandon it or we're going to see some of those other characters start to come in. That could have been the reason that the IM55 went up. You're right. But because that movie didn't do well, I don't know if they're going to abandon some of those things, or they're going to start maybe bringing in only the important characters into other movies. Maybe explain some things down the road using those characters. I would think that's their best bet, because I don't know if you could just abandon it. I definitely don't think there's going to be an Eternals #2. That's for sure. What's going on, Omega? How you doing, buddy? Me and Darren were just talking about what you're collecting right now, what you're looking for. He said, Silver Age and Bronze Marvel keys, and I tend to agree with him. But if there's anything out here that you're collecting, that speak up. And if anybody wants to join the chat, I'll be glad to give them the StreamYard link, and you guys can hop on with me live. Because like I said, this is kind of impromptu. I haven't done a live stream in a while, and I was bored. So I'm like, let me just jump on here and see who's out there. So I think that Bronze and Marvel keys to me are still the best options right now. It all depends on what you like. I love pre-code horror. I just don't collect it anymore because a lot of them really haven't gone up in value. Like, I was shocked. Some of my favorite covers are freaking pre-code horrors, and they haven't really gone up in value. And like I thought they would. I would still love them in my collection, but again, at the same time, I try to buy stuff that I think that I like, that I'm attached to, but also has a good possibility of going up in value. That's just how I collect. But Raleigh, what's going on, bud? How you doing? There are many books that are up. Absolutely. Um, do the hot 10 every week. I break them down to see everything that is going up right now. I think there's still things are too speculation driven, in my opinion. I think a lot of modern stuff has gone down. Not the bigger keys, but like I just did a video on Marvel Spotlight 5 that I couldn't believe the last sale on one of the grades was like 30% lower than the 90-day average, which to me, that's crazy for a we just got I saw something on Instagram yesterday about there's a secret Ghostwriter project that somebody posted out there. So I can't believe that the book is down 30% in that grade. I couldn't believe it. So um Omega says I'm into original art, but I'm building a foundational book PC and looking for a Bronze Age and Copper Age. That's a great way to start. But I love original art too. I only have a couple of pieces and nothing that's been done by, like a comic strip. I have a piece of Neil Adams artwork and I have two pieces of art that was done by a local community member. So Darren says he recently got Avengers 48 CGC and saving up for Tomb of Dracula 10 because Blade is recruiting a team. Somebody else mentioned that to me today, how that he thinks that it's going to be Tomb of Dracula, Moon Knight, and a couple other Ghost Rider and somebody else that they're going to try to recruit to do their own team. But it all remains to be seen. Like I've been stating on my channel that like I think this Phase 4 is like all the little things that they're kind of trying on Disney Plus. You have a big Thor movie that's coming out, but then after that movie, you have what do we have? Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, and then kind of like more Disney Plus stuff. So I feel like they're setting up something, maybe another big run. Everybody's talking about Secret Wars, so I think that's kind of the way they're gonna go. But hopefully they do something quick because some of these Disney Plus shows they're losing me. Great. Changing baby's diaper and listening. I'm looking to trade for Hulk 181. Keep me in mind. I have one right now, but I have two actually, but the one's a 4.0, one's a 4.5. I'm not selling either one yet. For anybody out there who's noticed, I have been selling some books, and that's because I've been buying some other books. So I kind of need to like move some stuff when I buy stuff, right? Where can't just keep buying and buying and buying. I was showing somebody, I don't want to give it away because it's a video this week about my process of upgrading books and my process of how I collect and what I do to keep kind of track of everything and the money that I spend and the money that I get back when I sell books. So that'll be coming out Wednesday, but it just gives a little bit of an insight on how I do it. Not everybody does stuff the same, but everybody talks about, how we have to let the hobby fund itself. We do, but I think timing is a big issue as well. Like if you got into some of these books at the right time, man, I got in right before everything started to go, and it really kind of helped me out in acquiring some of the big books that I have. Savage Land books, X-Men 10, Marvel Superheroes 19. Yeah, all great books. All great books. Silver Age stuff, I think, is still like the best bet out there. Like there's so much untapped potential that they have, so much great literature that they have to use for, going forward in these movies and Disney Plus shows. I just don't like how they change stuff. Like I want them to use the comic material and stick to the comic material. Anything is possible right now in the movies. So like, it's like, they should be sticking as close to they can. Some things I agree they have to change, but there you go, Raleigh. He's got a 181. What are you looking for? Let me be the broker here. No fees. I won't charge you a fee. But that's it. Like I said, I'm just hanging out here today. If anybody wants to jump on, I'll send you the link. I don't know about you guys, but it's super freaking hot by me today. I was out in the field this morning and I was just dying. So I'm sitting in here, kind of enjoying the air conditioning and relaxing. Raleigh's a huge Daredevil fan. He has a lot of great books, a lot of huge Daredevil keys. All right, Darren, let me, can I send you a thing here? Let me see if I could send you this. I'm trying to send you. Can you post your email? Because I have my thing up. I'm going to send you the link right now on StreamYard. If you don't mind posting an email, I don't see a link to share a, you know what? See if I can just paste it right to the chat. And I can. So I'm going to paste it right to the chat. Just copy and there you go. There's the StreamYard link for anybody who wants to jump on with me. But like I said, it's just a lazy day in New Jersey. Oh, you know what? I might as well use this time to point out, if anybody is near my area, northern New Jersey, I'm going to be at a local show. It's going to be a really small outdoor show. Gotham Underground. They have a comic book store in Ramsey, New Jersey. I'm going to be there with some books, selling, just kind of hanging out. Nothing crazy. There's going to be dollar books. There's going to be huge keys. There's going to be a bunch of stuff there. For anybody who lives in the northern New Jersey, New York area, Darren, I see us. I'm going to let you in. All right.
All right.
There you are. What's going on, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I was at the lake yesterday. I got a little burnt.
Oh, that's all right, man. I'm like, my oldest plays football, so I've been like, we're going to the field and working out. So same thing. I was dying out there this morning, man. It's been so freaking hot.
Yeah, my wife's mom lives on the lake, so
That's nice, man.
they went up today. I stayed home. I had to mow lawn and pick up the house and stuff. But I don't tan good. I burn. So
I'm the same way. When I was younger, I used to tan, and now that I'm older, I'm like, forget it. I go out in the sun and I'm burnt in an hour.
right. So yeah, I'm glad you're doing this, man. It's nice to talk to somebody about comics, and I've been picking up a lot of recent copies. Like I said, picked up at my local comic shop place. I picked up Iron Man 55 and Marvel Premiere 47. The first Scott Lang is Ant-Man, and they're both raw. I'll be sending them into CGC. And the Iron Man's probably if I do a press and cleaning, I can probably get a 6 out of it.
That's a nice size book right there.
Yeah, and then the Ant-Man about the same thing, probably a 6 or 7 after I clean and press. But I only paid $380 for both.
That's awesome. 380. That's a great deal, especially for the Iron Man 55. I think
Yeah,
now that's like a $600, $700 book in
I
that
got.
price for that grade range.
Yeah, my buddy owns the store, so he kept
Okay.
up. But I like 380. He wanted like 450 for both. I said, hey, what's the best you can do for me? And
Yeah.
I do 380. It's like, here's my PayPal.
That's why, like, to me, like, I like I said, I got a video coming out Wednesday about this, but like now is like the great time to pick up books. Now everybody's kind of scared because things are coming in, like some big stuff is coming in. So like it was at one price. Now people I think don't want to catch that falling knife, and they're kind of like they don't want to pull the trigger because they're scared it's going to go lower. To me, I say if you're long term and you're going to hold on to these books, freaking just but bite the bullet. 20 years, you're definitely gonna get your money out of it. If it's a book you want, go after it.
Oh, I agree. And I'm a low grade collector. If I can get some high grades, I'm fine. But like I said, I picked up Avengers 4, and it was a 1.8, but I got it for a good price.
That's
And
awesome. I have a 1.82 in that same book. So
yeah, I mean, and it's because he's my favorite character. Captain America is my favorite guy. So, but yeah, just picked up a whole bunch. I got a Comic Con coming up here in October because I live in Michigan. So, we got Motor City Comic Con coming up in October. So, saving up. I don't know if I'm gonna get two directly a 10 or Strange Tales 110. I'm debating which ones to get. So, I can only get one, but.
I just sold the Strange Tales.
what's going on, Omega man? I was
Hey, what's going on?
waiting for the right point to bring you in. I saw you come in. I'm like, let me just click on it.
I just sold the Strange Tales 110 probably a month ago. 3.5 Stan Lee sign.
Oh wow,
Oh,
what a beauty!
I think you sold it at the right time too, because now it's starting to trickle down again.
Yeah.
You did a good job on that one.
Yeah, man. Hey, this is like my second appearance, son. I'm like a mystery to everybody. Like, who the hell is Omega? Who the hell is Omega? So, thanks for letting me join you. Jump on your channel, man. Appreciate it.
No problem. Like I said, this is like I'm sitting around doing nothing. I said that I haven't done a live stream in like literally 4 months. So let me just see who's out there, see who wants to come in, and let's just chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you, man. It's Sunday. All my kids are gone. They're up to the lake, so
Exactly.
I'm just here. Actually, I got Avengers on right now, the first one. So
There you go. Omega, what's the last thing you picked up?
Shit, I just bought last night. I bought the Batman Harley Quinn
Okay.
first print. I bought that near mint plus copy. I got it for like $1.50.
That's great, man. Like I was just telling him, like now's the time. Like anything you want, I feel like people wanna. They're too afraid right now to pick up stuff because of the way that the market's going. But I think now's the perfect time to do it.
Right. Hey, let me tell you, there's a guy on Instagram. He is selling. He's brokering a Hawk One, and it was a 1.0 for like 9,600.
oh wow.
So I've been trying to broker a trade with that. Haven't heard from him, so maybe it's sold. But man, if I can catch a Hawk One,
Yeah,
I got some nice books to trade for that.
that's the next thing that I noticed too is that Raleigh's gonna jump on too in a minute. Let me add him. What's going on, bud?
Hey
What's
guys,
up, Riley?
I feel like
Hey,
everybody out there.
you hear crying, I apologize.
No,
That's all
trust
right.
me. Everybody that I find right now, everybody just wants to trade. Nobody wants to buy anything. That's from my experience. So it's been tough, but that's a great deal, man. If you could swing that.
Yeah, I'm trying to do a trade plus cash deal. I mean, outright I can get it, but I'm glad he didn't respond because it was kind of the presentation of it wasn't right. I mean, you can have a 1.0 or 0.5 and have it present well, but
Yeah.
I always think about when I books the resale. It's like,
I know.
would someone buy it from me?
That's the smart way to think, right? You gotta be ahead of the game because you gotta get that deal. So like, if you have to sell the book, you have some meat on the bone.
And also, I tell you, Alex, the comic hoarder, I saw some videos from him, man, and he's doing like that foundational book stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, I said, shit, let me dig in my own PC and build one. So it's like, oh, I got this. Oh, I got that. Oh, all right. So I'm building this nice foundational PC, man, that I may dump at some point, full of keys.
I hear you. I mean, that's the way to do it. I think you can't take nothing to the grave, but you gotta build it up while you can. So, John, what are you looking for besides the 181?
181 Golden Age cap. I'd like another cap 46, the Holocaust cover. Cap 3 and 5. I'd like. Let's see. I wouldn't mind a few more X-Men 1.
Big boys.
Yeah, and I also collect modern Secrets. What is it? Secret Wars 9, the Pacelli variant with Miles and Spider-Man on the cover.
Yeah,
I've got a bunch of those. And then just some books for the kid. I wouldn't mind another Tales to Astonish 13 first group for my son. And then he wants a GSX one as well for his birthday. So,
that's a pretty big birthday gift right there.
Well, he got his second-degree black belt this year, and he hit under 20 seconds his personal best for swimming, so he deserves it.
Oh, there you go.
Good.
What's up, Matt?
How's it going?
Good. Welcome to the chat. We're just kind of BSing, talking comics, see what they picked up last. So what was the last thing you picked up?
Well, the last big thing that I picked up was the second appearance of Spot.
All right.
So it's been on my list for a while, and then of course it had to blow up before I could get it. So
that's what happens, right? As soon as you start thinking about something, it starts to go.
Yeah. So I recently was reorganizing my office a little bit, changing around computers and things like that. So trying to get details right still. So
does anybody else in the chat like have a place where they keep their stuff? I know I do. Matt does. Anybody else or like they have a room? You do?
Storage site.
Storage site.
Yeah.
Guard dog included.
Yeah. I got a storage site and I keep a little couple like 2 short boxes here at the house.
Believe it or not, we have a custom vault in the house where we keep old collectible guns, any comic book that's worth over $50K, and then some other valuables. So
I got to get a vault, man. Someone else mentioned that to me. They had something like that as well, but I don't think I could put it anywhere, but I need something like that.
Yeah, I need a vault too, man. It's hard to shop for. I saw a few on Instagram, but I'm like, I got a few big boys that can go in the vault.
Yeah.
I'm just worried about moving it. Like when you have to move or whatever, how are you going to get it out of there?
Oh, it stays with the house.
It stays with the house? Okay. So yeah, I definitely don't
increases value.
Right.
I would have to get rid of a closet somewhere and put that thing in there.
So does everybody feel that the MCU is kind of cherry picked Marvel and there's really not anything left to spec on? Like, how do you guys feel about that spec world?
To me, I find it incredibly hard to buy books right now that I think they're going to take advantage of the movies or the Disney Plus shows going forward, because I like to buy the bigger stuff. I know John does too.
Yep.
So to me, I've gone over to like the Bronze Age, just characters they haven't done yet, and that I think they're going to use, and I will buy like multiple copies of those. So that's really about it. Anybody else?
I think they have to do justice. But Doctor Doom is something they really need to focus on. He's like one of the best villains / anti-heroes ever, in my opinion. And I also love King too. I think with King and Doom, they can really attack that, and kind of like they did with Thanos. They did Thanos for what, almost 10 years? It seems like, you know. So King and Doom for sure. Like those are the. I don't collect many first appearance villains. Just the main ones. Like I got Thanos, I got Iron Man 55 I just picked up, and then I do have Avengers 8. And FF5 is eventually I'm going to try to get. So
Hey, I'm going to challenge you real quick on Avengers 8. You mentioned Kang. I have a hypothesis, or I guess that's what you call it, that FF19 is a true first appearance of Kang because it's Rama Tut.
Rama Tut and the Egyptian.
You know, and it's 11 months before. I know there's a lot of controversy there, but that's my assertion that that's really the true first appearance of Kang.
Do you think you're going to see Kang? You think you're going to see Rama Tut in one of these lead up things before we get the actual Kang in the movies?
Yeah. It'll be a multiverse type quantum, like when they do the Ant-Man movie. I think we'll see, you know, a rendition of Rama Tut.
Yeah, that's why I picked up like 12 copies of FF19. Just as it's a fun book, but I think I can trade it for other books eventually. So.
I'm gonna tell you guys who my spec is. My spec is for the next big guy, and I've been saying this for the past 5 years to Reggie and all those guys. Michael Korvac.
Oh yeah.
He's coming. Michael Korvac.
All right, yeah. Definitely. I can see that happening.
Well, I mean, if you do Kang and Doom, you have to do Galactus, right?
Yeah.
I was funny as I was talking to somebody last night on Instagram. We were talking about like when is Galactus coming, because there's an auction that has a 7.5 right there for a good price, and we were talking about that. And I'm like, you know what? I don't see how they could bring Galactus in now. I think it's going to be a long time away. I think they got to do, you know, they do the Avengers, they got to bring in Fantastic Four, then the X-Men. So I think you're a ways away from getting Galactus. He's got to be the guy where everybody's going to have to try to get him. So
you're going to get mention. I think mention of Galactus will happen in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Like mention of him. That's what I think.
Are you guys excited for Groot? Just not to shift gears, but you mentioned Guardians. Are you guys excited for that show, or you guys think it's just kids stuff?
I think it's kids stuff, personally.
I mean, I'll probably enjoy it just the same as I'm enjoying Miss Marvel, but I'm not on the edge of my seat waiting for Groot. I mean, maybe if he has a couple more words in him.
Yeah.
I Am Groot is about as exciting as it gets.
Right.
Well, my question is this, is that what is their plan to do with all this stuff? Like all these shows that are on there now, like they're just, to me, like the shows are just giving you other iterations of the same characters. So what's the end game of these shows?
I think they cherry picked, and for the kids with Disney Plus, like what characters can cross over into like a Miles Morales into the adult aspect as well as the child aspect. So I think they cherry picked those characters that they can sell off to kids.
Yeah,
personally.
I think. Are you guys enjoying Miss Marvel? Or
I am.
My son likes it.
Okay.
I mean, it's a little interesting. I mean, I'm not 100% familiar with Miss Marvel, so it's kind of like a discovery along with it. And so I'm like going, well, I know that's different, but I could definitely see how it's definitely geared towards a younger crowd. I mean, I'm maybe in my young 30s, I'm on the borderline between crotchety old, and I can enjoy it. You know, not to post any comments, anyone in the panel here, but I'm on the border edge where I can enjoy both still, I find. So, you know, but
see, I'm old school, man. I started collecting in '82, and I remember when Secret Wars, I was buying each issue as it came out, and the LCS guy at the time was like, one day this Secret Wars movie is going to come out, and this is going to be the biggest thing ever. Save your books. I still have those books.
I'm with you because I'm probably around the same age range. Like that was huge, but I think they're going to go with the newer Secret Wars. I don't think they're going to do.
Think so?
Yeah, I wish they would do the old one, but I just don't see it possible. Like I don't see how they're going to bring back the same characters. I just don't.
Yeah, the old one was set it up for like the Beyonder, all those other characters. I think it has a broader reach, but the newer one, I really wasn't into it personally.
Me too. Neither was I, but I feel like that's where they're gonna go. But I don't know. I can't. That's just my feeling.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. MCU, they cherry pick. I think there's still opportunity for like Savage Land with Kazar. They haven't touched that. True horror. Like I don't know if you guys remember I'm from New York, so you said Jersey, but I remember back in the day it would be the Monster Matinee. I think there's still opportunity to do true horror, and I got laughed at about this, but romance. You know?
Yeah, I can't see them going that far, but the horror definitely. I definitely would like to see that. Where in New York are you from?
Originally, I'm from Syracuse, but
Oh,
grew
okay.
up on
So north.
155th and Riverside. And
There you go. Okay.
I grew
uptown.
up between Rochester and Syracuse. 315.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I went to Syracuse University. All that. Yeah, yeah.
My aunt and uncle
I
used to own a racetrack called Spencer Speedway in Williamson, so not too far.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are competition for Vernon Downs.
Well, it used to be. I live in Raleigh now, but yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you want a 181?
Well, I have one, but I want to get a higher grade one for myself and then one for my son because he's trying to put
now I
together
got-
a keeper collection for him for when he's older. And
Yeah.
like I just picked up for my newborn daughter a Barbie one. I'm gonna get her some female keys, and so I'm trying to keep the hobby going. You know, it's important that we keep it going to the next generation. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I got a 6.5, so it's not you wouldn't want that. And that one I got for my son. I got a Miles Morales. I got the Ultimate Fallout, the 1 in 25.
Yep.
And the Marvel Comics. I don't. You guys are Marvel Comics 1000 that came out a couple years ago.
Yep.
With Mickey Mouse on the cover.
Oh, that's pretty sweet. Yeah.
I got that signed up and stuff.
Nice.
It was only available at the show.
Yeah.
I'd be interested in the 6.5 because, like I said, anything under an 8 for him, and then I'm looking for a 9.2 to 9.6 for myself.
Yeah.
All right. I'll shoot you. I'll shoot you something, and we start talking.
Sounds good.
There you go. Bringing people together. That's what we're here for.
You are a connector, Lawrence.
Yeah.
Hey, Lawrence,
What's up,
man,
Nigel?
you're gonna make me start my channel, man. I just ordered some a Broadcaster Pro 2. I'm just gonna start hopping on and start talking.
Just do it, dude. Just listen. It was like the most. I said this like a month ago. If you go back and watch like some of my earliest videos, they're freaking horrible. But you know what? That was probably like some of the shit that I was unboxing back then. I was like, holy crap! Like that was some of the best stuff I ever bought. So like, I always tell people go watch some of that stuff because some stuff you're never gonna see before. So now it's just like, I'm just trying to entertain people.
See, I'm trying to dump too, man. It's like, what can I can talk about the process of me dumping, selling books, flipping, and it's hard to sell on Instagram. You got to have that reputation, but I don't know. I think I may jump on and just start doing stuff.
Dude.
It does take sorry to interrupt real quick, Lawrence. You mentioned Instagram reputation. I agree, but once you get it, you're golden. Like I now sell to Reese's Rare Comics and other dealers. I mean, if I sell it, if I put up a Tales of Suspense 3970 6 months ago, I sold that to Reese's. I sold them
okay.
Journey into Mystery 8375 white pages. So once you get that reputation and you get a dealer to like post, hey, this guy's reputable, you're set, and people will pay friends and family that no problem.
Yeah. Because Raleigh, I go a lot on Elite Comics, and they got dealers. Those guys are just selling comics left and right on there. They're making tons of money.
Oh yeah.
And like you said, they do friends and family because it's so reputable.
Right.
It's honest community. These guys are awesome. I mean, if you can get on Elite Comics, man, you're golden.
I've bought through Ali and I've sold through Ali, so I've had no issue either way. I know I've seen John on a ton of freaking live sales on Rob from Red Hood's Comics. I've seen him on. I've seen him on the on Ali stuff too.
Yeah, I'm always buying their stuff on there, and you get good deals. Like you can let something sit for a little bit.
Yep.
And you can throw out, like, let's say a guy wants $600 for something. It's been sitting there, and you offer him like, hey, I'll give you $480. They'll do it sometimes because they want to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And it's really good. You can get some really good deals on there.
Sure. I got a Hulk 2 from there. One of my Hulk 2s. I got a 3.5 from there recently, and a friend of mine, Motu, he got a Hulk 145 for $38K, which is a lot of money, but for 5, that's actually pretty reasonable.
Right, and they sell big dogs on there. I mean, they're selling comics $30,000-$40,000.
Yeah.
So they sell everything on there.
Yeah,
honestly, I'm after an AF-15 1.0. Actually, I'm on the hunt for that. So I'm ready to pull the trigger on something.
I saw one. I know a guy that has one. I can put
Raw.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like he's a real reputable guy. He's actually I've done a lot of business with him. So message me. I'll put you in touch with him.
Okay, cool. Because I really don't buy books. I buy a lot of comic art, original art now.
Okay.
But, yeah. Okay. Definitely.
What is
Lawrence,
something you guys are like looking for right now? Like I know I asked you what you guys just bought, but is something like that that you're hunted for, that you want, you're trying to get besides the AF-15? He just said it.
I was on my way, like before you said, I'm like, hey, let me jump on and see what's happening. I was actually on my way to an LCS to see if they had a ASM 194.
I got one for you, but it's not a high. I had an 8.0. I just sold it on eBay, and I have a raw copy, but it's like a mid grade.
Cool. I mean, well, I'll message you after this, man. Cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
Tales of Pence 39.
Yeah,
That's gotta be
what
gotta
grade?
be my collection.
What grade are you looking for?
1 to 2.
Okay.
TGC.
I saw one on Elite. I think it's Elite. He has one for just under $9,000, 2.0. I just saw him posted today.
2.0 sold for like 80 something. 80.
Yeah.
And if I had the money, I would have done it, but I have to wait a little bit to get it. But it's gonna come, and it's gonna be one of the mainstays in my collection because I collect for the long run. I don't sell a lot. I buy more than anything.
Check out Grail's comics too. Their competition.
Yeah.
They're good guys.
I bought stuff from him. I haven't sold with him, but I definitely have bought from him as well.
Yeah. I don't have much on my thing. I mean, I don't have AF-15. I would love to have it, but once I completed my ASM run, it was kind of like, what do I do now? It's like I was so single focused on my ASM collection. It's like, well, I don't want to just be, I guess I don't want to just be an ASM guy. I want to branch out. So now I'm kind of like now I'm just kind of like casting my net out in the comic pool, wide but shallow, and just pulling in keys of related king, like going, oh, I like Batman, so I got the Death of Robin and all that. I got the Sensational She-Hulk over there. I got some I like Teen Titans on these few keys, so I'll pick up these few keys. And so I'm like casting out for keys now versus character runs, although I am collecting a Jeff Johns in his entirety for Green Lantern. So that's another goal, as long as collecting full Miles Morales and things like that. So I'm in the middle of creating a book of lists, basically, on kind of thing that I can take with me to cons and just go through it.
Hey, Lawrence, I think
how are cons right now with dealers? Are they dealing, or is it still pretty expensive?
Actually, let me just shout out to Awesome B Comics. Congrats on your AF-15 1.8 Blue Bud. Congratulations. That's an awesome pickup. Good.
Well, the cons that I've been to was last year, the Colorado Springs Comic Con. It was a mixture of everything. I mean, it was decent. I mean, I'm not sure if the prices have gone up since then, but it wasn't too expensive. I mean, I looked at it and going like, yeah, I do it. And so the cons I've been to have not been like, you're a thief and you know it. Here's kind of a thing, but I don't know.
I'm just curious. I'm headed to one in October at the Motor City Comic Con, so
yeah.
just curious to see how.
I'm going to New York Comic Con in October. I haven't been there since.
Man, I want to go to that so bad.
Yeah, but I guess my guess is because the cons I've been to are the smaller ones, not the larger name ones, and so it's like, okay, we know you made a choice to come here, and so we can't price gouge you. We know we got to respect that you came to a smaller one. If we want you to come back, we need to keep you coming back.
I think it really depends on the actual booth that you're in. There are some guys that I know that go to shows that have like local stores and they're pretty fair. And then there are some guys that are just insane. They're like way over GPA and stuff. And I'm like, forget it. I spend 2 minutes there and I move on.
Yeah, Lawrence, because I saw your video not too long ago. You went there and you're like, holy crap. Like, this is the stuff you picked up people were selling was ridiculous. Like, they were like 1.5 water damage, and they wanted like, like double the price or triple the price than what it was really worth.
I got an example. Like I for the past, like I'm trying to do Matthew, trying to complete an ASM run, but I'm only going to 300 and I'm missing maybe like 75 books. And I've been trying to get ASM 51 second Kingpin forever. And it shot up in price and it just shot up in price, like $350 for like a 4.0. I'm like, I'm not spending that much money, dude. I just picked up the same book, almost the same book, same grade for $100 off of eBay. That's how far everything has come down for certain books. So I'm like, now's a good time.
Lawrence, let me know what you're looking for, man, because I sold off my ASM run. I was stupid. I shouldn't have did it, but I still have some ASM keys in my boxes, man. So let me know what you're looking for. Hey, you touched on a good topic, man. Like, this is a good show. Like, call it connecting, and just
Yeah.
get people together to trade. It's kind of like the old Dungeons and Dragons when you got together and played. Just get on and who's got what.
Yeah, who's got what, and like, air your grievances with everybody out there.
Yeah. Well, speaking of ASM runs, this is my what I have so far for my 750 subscriber contest.
Oh.
A lot, this thick old stick of Spider-Man related books from Amazing Spider-Man to Spider-Girl. I even have a few older books like, 110 that I'm throwing in there, First Gibbon and all
All right,
that.
so we're shouting out Matt, Mr. Comics, Mr. Comics 89, 750 giveaway. Make sure everybody out there who's watching this goes ahead and tries to get and subscribe to Matt while we're at it.
Yeah,
There you go, Matt.
Thank you. The contest video is linked in all my recent videos and all that. So it's a easy, simple how to do it, very simple. So you can get up to like 13 different entries, I think, and how I designed it. So if you do all of it, you can get 13 chances to win in the wheel that I'll be doing. So
Are you guys all on Instagram, by the way? Because
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Raleigh, I've seen you on Elite Comics before. I know I've seen your name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Raleigh, I think I bought from you years ago, a few years
Did you?
back. I think I bought something from you.
Hopefully,
Well,
it was,
I was gonna say he always does unboxing. I saw a few unboxings we did with his son this week or the prior week. That some amazing stuff.
thank you. Yeah, I just started doing that. I wish I had done that like 5 or 10 years ago when I had some really sick stuff like the 7.5 AF15 and some other books.
Gorgeous.
I think I'd probably get a few more views, but my production quality is crap, right? I don't edit. I do it live. It's horrible quality, but it's about the
That's
book.
the best way, man. That's the best way. Just go.
Yeah.
Like
But
Guys,
Lauren's telling me, just go.
To me,
just
like, you
love
know
to
what?
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead,
go ahead.
John. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I would just love to see what everyone wants to trade, because you mentioned people want to trade, not sell. I personally would rather trade with folks in the community. And like, if you have a book I really want and it's worth, let's say, $5,500, and I've got a book worth $5,800, and I really want it, I'll eat $300.
Oh yeah.
Make a deal.
yeah,
Absolutely.
I traded my my Thor books of the first him, Adam Warlock, because I got him as trade bait in a sense. I was not in love with the character, and I traded them for a Savage She-Hulk here, number
Oh,
one.
nice.
So I love that character a lot more, and so some people might not think it's a very smart trade deal and all that, but it was more sentimental and worked better for me. Just I'd rather have that and it didn't cost me a dime. For
Right.
it.
Right. I think that's awesome you brought that up, because I think we should talk about that. Is Adam Warlock. Like, we know he's coming in the movie, but it's like, do you think Marvel's going to use him just for one? Do you think they'll use him for multiple movies? Because I would hate for them just to waste him for one movie and not use him again. You know what I
I
mean?
think they missed their opportunity. They should have used him in the Infinity Saga like they should have, and they wasted an opportunity.
You're right.
You think they did? I think Guardians of the Galaxy is gonna unfold a lot of characters, and him being one, and he ties into my spec, Michael Korvac. But I think when him comes along, that Thor, what is it? I have a 165. That book is gonna skyrocket. But I don't think they missed the boat on that. It's just I hope they do it in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I just hope they just do. I hope he's like in the long run. You know what I mean? Because Will Poulter, I actually like him. I remember him from We're the Millers. He was hilarious.
Yeah.
In that.
such a different role now.
Now you see him with Adam Warlock, and talking about Thor 165. I mean, do we all agree that's the main book for him?
Yeah. That, and then the runner-up would be FF. What is it? 67.
Yeah, the cameo. Yeah,
the cameo.
I think FF's a better cover though, so a lot of people will go to the cover. We know how they.
I agree, but I did a video about this not too long ago. I think the books haven't gone up. They haven't gone up. That's my issue. I had like 3 copies of 165. I had a Marvel Premiere #1. I had whatever. They never went up. They never went up like they should go up because it's a great character. So I dumped them all.
They haven't skyrocketed. No, that's for sure.
No.
You can get them. You can get a nice 5.0 for like $400 or $500.
Yeah.
That's great too.
I would definitely go over the 165 if you're gonna go, because I think that's what I call the money book. That's the one that's gonna go if it goes.
It's got the character on the cover. It's front facing.
Yeah.
I know his Marvel Premiere one with him on the cover sells pretty good.
In high grade, it does, but if it's like a mid grade or even it's like still like a $200 book, which is not a lot of money.
Right.
I agree. 165 has that big boy feel anyway.
Yeah,
So
it's a
I
Silver
got a
Age.
6.5. Yeah.
And it's the last 12-cent book too. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the last of the 12-cent covers.
Yeah.
So
I'm holding mine. Just thinking, once soon sell in the news, man.
well, I want to get it because I love Adam Warlock, but I'm just scared that I like James Gunn, but I'm really not like happy like what he did with Drax and how he basically just like he's kind of a wuss. You know, like this is the guy that made the kill Thanos, and I just felt like he just never was like a huge threat. He was more a comedian to me than
What grade are you looking for for the 165?
5 to 6 maybe.
5 and up.
Yeah.
Oh, hey man, shoot me something. Hey, I'm always willing to talk.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah, I will.
So I'm gonna pose a question to you guys because this is something that I've talked about before. And when you get to the point where you have everything that you're looking for, where do you go? Like Matt touched on it, he finished his ASM run, but where do you go? Because I'm trying to upgrade
Original
stuff
art.
at this point. Original art, okay.
That's where I went, and I haven't regretted it, man.
Just it's really expensive, like some of the stuff.
Yeah. I think the characters and stack.
Yeah. See, with original art, I've been learning. You know, it's I call it a more sophisticated type of sell and buy, because you have to know what to buy. Like digital art, not really. You get the pencil art that shows the true art, pencils and inks. That's the real deal. Keys, key books, buy from that. Yeah. It's just truly buy what you like.
Yeah, I guess that.
I personally, the statues for me, like the big statues. I love those things.
Oh, okay.
The pricey ones. The big ones that
Do you have any?
Yeah, I have a few. I have the one with Rogue. She's like taking off her glove. I don't know if you've seen that one.
No.
That was like $400 or $500. There's a local comic shop that has tons of them.
Really?
There's a statue out with. There's a statue out with Hawk and the Hawk Buster. I saw it on Gem Mint, I think a couple of days ago. I was like, that'd be cool, but it's huge.
Yeah, they're huge. And then the other one was the one with they mimicked the Hulk 181 cover with Wolverine. That's
Let me
awesome.
tell you something. I have like a. See if I can get. I don't know. Oh, it's down here. It's like a It was a made in China version. It's like this big, but it was $100. It looks exactly the same. So I bought that instead. But I love that one. I know what you're talking about. But it's like so much money. It's like almost $1,000.
It's like $1,000. Yeah.
Yeah. The extent. Sorry, go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
Also, the extent of my statue thing is like those gallery kind of things. I mean, one I got was like a black suit Spider-Man that I got from my LCS, and when they made a mistake on. I guess they sold me a mystery box, or when I bought a mystery box from him, but he didn't know. He knew that there was like not much in that one. It's like, well, like, oh, we like Matt a lot. He gave us his my apologies for giving you such a crappy mystery package thing of comics and all that. So I got a gift for them. But the other two statues I basically bought from Walmart. So I mean, I don't buy statues much because A, I don't have the room, and B, I don't have the drive. Yeah. But when I saw a few things like, okay, I couldn't pass up on Doom. He just looked too cool. And he looks, put him right there next to my ASM5 when he was over there for a while. But, so he looked real good sitting next to him.
Yeah, it looked good. Let me ask you guys a question. How do you guys feel about Omnibus? Because I built a nice Omnibus collection over the past year.
I like them.
Great for reading.
For me, I was going to say, if you're a constant reader, there's nothing better. But for me, like I'm more of a collector than a reader at this stage. So.
Well, I would actually like to do it. An omnibus here. I have the first one, a reprint of the first one, which is ASM 1 to 38. The Steve and the Lee and Ditko era, and all that. So, but I would actually like to get the omnibuses too, because then I can actually leave my books alone and just keep my eye on them in the bags and the boards. And if I want to read the issue, I just flip open the omnibus and read the issue there. So, and that way, this is my reader enjoying copy, and then everything else is display and all that, because I have no idea what to do with my collection for sure, except my son. I'll probably give it to my son with strict orders that he's not allowed to sell it either.
So hold on, I got a question. I got a question for somebody in the chat. Okay, So go around. We'll start with Darren, and then we'll go on to Omega. What's everyone's speculation on who will hold the Black Panther mantle in the upcoming sequel? Go ahead.
I think it's be Suri. I think she's one that's gonna take the mantle up. That's my speculation on who's gonna take up the Black Panther. It's gonna be his sister, Suri.
Omega?
Doom. No, I'm only kidding. Shuri, his sister.
Yeah.
Matt?
I do think Shuri. I do. My odds-on favorite is Shuri. Although in the back of my mind, I'm also thinking, who's the white gorilla chief? What's his name?
M'Baku.
Yeah, I had a whole theory that he might be. I can't remember that he just might be it. Just something like just sounds right with welcome back to Wakanda kind of a thing. We need a leader now that Chicago that he's dead. And who better to do it than someone who's always been there for Wakanda when they need him? So it's a 50-50 thing, but if I had an odds-on favorite, yeah, Shuri, is the way to go. She's in the comics. She's already been in the comics as Black Panther.
All right.
Why get overly creative? You got the answer right there.
John?
Probably Shuri, but it's tough because I really like Chadwick. He was such an underrated actor, so really Black Panther. So that's one of my favorite Marvel movies, tell you the truth.
It was great. And that's why I stated in one of my last videos, Copper Drop, when I said drop Black Panther, that I don't think that whoever they choose is not going to be Chadwick. So I think that the best thing is to maybe go from 1 to 1 and then kind of end the character, right? Maybe nobody takes it up.
Right. Would you guys be disappointed if they brought back Killmonger?
No.
To take the mantle?
Well,
kind of like, because
I would need to see.
He kind of turned good at the end a little bit when he died. He was dying.
Yeah. Well, I'm iffy for there, but I need to see a hell of a redemption story to believe it. Otherwise, I don't see it. It's just like, I mean, he seems such the good. I mean, here's history for what it really is. You came into our land, stole our stuff, and all that. So I mean, I completely justify it. But someone's like, okay, I need to see a hell of a. I can play by the rules, not just I'm gonna tear society down and watch it burn, just because you. So I need to see a hell of a redemption story to buy him as Black Panther.
Yeah, and they better pay homage to Chadwick. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I think they will. They have to, man. If they don't, it would be.
Yeah.
That's why I don't think they could go on with the character. Like, even if they do pass it on to Shuri or M'Baku, like, it's not going to be the same. Like, it's just going to be a totally different Wakanda, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it'll be different. I also
such a great character, man. Such a wonderful character, and he's such
a good character. Good cosmic character and land-based character.
Awesome.
Nice.
So, I got another question here. You ready? And we'll go around. We'll do the same thing. I have an ASM 129 CGC 96 with Stan Lee and Jerry Conway's signature. Should I try to upgrade to a 98 or just keep it as is? If I upgrade, how much should the difference be? I can't give you the difference.
Yeah.
Let's start if you can. Let's see if panel says if you should upgrade or not.
Yes, you should upgrade. Yes. But make sure you get a copy that has a perfect wrap. You don't have the cover coming over the white on the left-hand side. The S for Spider-Man is fully shown. Find a perfect copy because a 9.8, not all 9.8s are created the same. Sorry to interrupt, but I'm very passionate about this subject. I was talking about this with Professor Pecora on Instagram the other day. Go for the grade unless you really love the signatures, but get a good-looking, perfect wrap 9.8. Don't just get a 9.8 to get a 9.8.
I'm going to say that if an ASM 129 9.8 off the top of my head is about almost $50,000. So off the top of my head, but I'll let Matt go now and give his opinion on this.
Well, I mean, I'm iffy because, like I said, that 9.6 is that gray area. 9.8 and 9.4 just look better than 9.6s. It's like 7.5. So something about the 0.5s just don't sit quite right with me. But it depends on if it can be compressed. What's wrong with a book if there's graders notes. But ultimately, I'd almost rather keep it at the 9.6 and buy the 9.8 and all that. I mean, I ran a risk when I cracked my Superman 75 to have Brett Breeding sign it because it was a CGC 9.8 and all that. That was my first Grail book and all that. And so I was running the risk of dropping it to a 9.6. Luckily, it kept the grade. But I don't know.
So you like signed books then? You collect signed books?
Not all the time, but I'm not against them. I personally... it's all relevant. Yeah, I don't see it as degrading it or whatever it is. I mean, I like regular books there, but if I meet, like, I'm going to meet Jerry Conway here at the end of August. I'm going to have him sign my first Punisher. I'm going to have him sign Death of Gwen Stacy, Death of Green Goblin, and the Superman versus Amazing Spider-Man. I'm going to have him sign those books.
Yeah.
So because he's not going to be around forever, and I would like to have that and just all that. So just make something more valuable. I don't know. I'm not
So
against it.
I've been corrected. The 9.8 last sale was 39K and the 90-day was 41K. So I was about
Hold
10
on though,
grand
Lauren.
off.
That's on GPA, right? I mean, that's all
Yeah.
I have. I know of a private sale one that sold for 45 or 48 recently.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So I'm close then. All right. I knew I saw something. I saw high 40s somewhere. I don't know if it's sold, but I saw it listed.
Yeah, I know the owner.
Well,
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I have an ASM 129, 3.5, Mark Jewelers, white pages. Looks good. I got it on my Instagram page. But my motto is buy quality, hold, make money. 9.0 or above. So
There you go. Darren, your opinion on this one?
Wow. I'd be really nervous to do that. I'm with Raleigh. I think if you think you can get a 9.8 out of it,
go for it.
Because you know how rare that is to have a 9.8. So yeah, I'm with Raleigh. If you think you can pull off and get a 9.8, you do it.
Hey, I got to
tough.
drop. Sorry, I got to drop.
No problem. No, John, it was great talking to you. Thanks for hopping on, bud.
Take care, guys. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye. Yeah, that's a tough question. Like, I don't know. I mean, having a 9.8 is great in that book, but at the same time, how do you crack and submit that book with the chance of it coming back lower? If they were just going to say, yeah, I was going to sell the 9.6 and then buy the 9.8, I think that's a good move. So,
like I said, I'd be very nervous.
Yeah. I don't know. It all depends. Like I said, I did the same thing.
It all depends on the grader you get too, man. It's risky. Like I cracked my Ultimate Fallout 4 to 1 in 25, 9.4, and just get it signed. Came back at 9.2, and I'm like, crap.
Yeah, my 252, the first black suit, was a 9.4 near mint that I bought in CGC, and I had it cracked and signed by Brett Breeding as well in the same time. It dropped to 9.2, and so I was like, no! And then the thing was like, wait. My Secret Wars number 8's already a 9.2 that came back, so it's like, I hate that it dropped a grade, but I'm gonna find the silver lining linear. So, I hate
aficionado, what's up, bud? How are you doing? If you want to jump on, let me know. I'll shoot you the link. But glad you're here. Anybody have anything else they want to talk about, like comics wise?
You guys, do you guys feel like the ASM 238 skyrocketing a little bit? Is it going up?
I know that they Jacob Batalon posted that photo of himself with that figure. So
yeah,
I would love to see them do it, but I don't know if that's the reason why I'd buy it at this point.
Right.
My take on that is if you're going to buy that, get a high grade, the Canadian variant if you can.
Why the Canadian variant?
It's worth more. It's rare. Or if you can't find that, get a newsstand, like a high grade newsstand.
Yeah, I agree.
If it's an ASM book, buy it. That's all I have to say.
There's a lot of that book though floating around.
That's not a bad advice. If an ASM book, like really, they don't really go down, right? I mean, that is really good advice.
They hold their value, that's for sure.
Yeah. So, who's? I know Matt's favorite character is Spider-Man. What about the two of you guys? What's your favorite? Who's your favorite character that you follow?
Captain America, Steve Rogers.
Omega.
Yeah, mine is Doctor Strange.
Yep.
So why did you sell your Strange Tales 110 then? Just because of the money?
Yeah, well,
right time.
It's I thought it would explode, and then I really looked at it like, hey, he's not on the cover, et cetera, and I can get another one anytime. I can trade for one.
Yeah.
So
I will say this, like that book is so undervalued, and that's got to be the reason, right? Because of the cover. Every other freaking major marquee is a fortune, and that one is still like you can get a really nice grade copy for $3,000. Yep. Even if it's low grade, you can still buy it. So that's not bad.
Yep.
How about, I got a good question. Ready? You have a regret about not buying something or selling something that you should have sold? All right. So let's hear that. Darren, you start.
In 2014, I bought a Hulk 181 for $400, CGC 5.0. I sold it for $700 like 6 months later. Yeah, a 5.0. So that's my biggest regret.
That's probably like close to like a $5,000 book now. Yeah.
Yep.
Omega?
You know, I regret two regrets. I regret I had an opportunity to get an AF-15 when I got back into collecting in 2018 for a 1.8 for $8,000. I didn't do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you. 1.8's got to be like what, like 30,000 right now? Off
If
the
not
top
a
of my
little
head?
bit more.
Yeah.
And then my regret for selling is I sold my giant size X-Men 1. It was a 5.0. I sold it cheap when I got back into collecting. So I regret that.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know
Tough, man.
anything coming back in. I didn't know because last time I collected, I didn't know about grading, none of that stuff, man. That didn't exist.
Yeah. I kind of regret that same thing too. I mean, I guess a couple of years ago, there was an coverless AF-15. I think it was like $5,000 on eBay kind of a thing. I'm going like, man, I could have done that now, especially since my attitude's changed a little bit now. Because like I said, I bought my ASM1 coverless and put a facsimile cover over it. So now I can just display it like that. And so it's still low grade. But the only other real regret that I have is I missed out on this book years ago.
Yeah.
I could have bought it at Mile High Comics for like $20. But I looked at it, was going like, I have a budget. And that's more than I can spend right now with everything else, just $20 plus and all that. And then, like I said, later that year or the next year, the video game and all that, and all of a sudden that book was skyrocketing as the second print, along with that. I'm like, son of a mother, son of a god, son of a god. So
everybody's got them, right? Everybody's got something. Everybody has a story of like they screwed up something. This is mine. I had a 7.5 Hulk 181 that I purchased. Me and my dad purchased it together as an investment. We paid $3,000 for it. Sold it like 7 months later for $4,000, thinking, all right, we did all right. Literally, not even 3 months later, the book skyrocketed. It was like almost $8,000. So I was like, oh, just poor timing. So I got another question for you guys from the chat. Brooklyn State of Mind. Pick one for the long term as an investment. CGC Secret Wars 9 or CGC ASM 52? I think you mean Secret Wars 8 because that's the. All right, so go ahead. Which one would you guys rather have for the long term?
What are they again?
Secret Wars 8 or ASM 252?
First black suit or the origin of the black suit, basically. Yeah.
Secret Wars 8, 9.8. Long term.
All right.
I agree with Omega.
Matt?
Yeah,
go ahead.
I do think that if you're arguing for the historic of it, yeah, I mean, I think the origin and Secret Wars might be slightly more investment than the first appearance of the black suit. And black suit's cool in 252, but it doesn't have that iconicness that Secret Wars number 8 does, even though it's homaging Amazing Fantasy and all that.
So Awesome Key Comics says 252 9.8. Now I'm going to be the agree with him and not the rest of you guys. I think 252 is the money book only because one, I don't think you're going to get the true origin of the symbiote in the MCU, right? We're going to get something totally different. So while I love Secret Wars 8, I have like 4 copies of it. I think the 252 is going to be the money book going forward.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm going to throw something out there. How about this? I think another spec I have, and my specs hit, but I think in the grand scheme of things, we're going to see Null way down the line come.
Null, you said?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. But let me ask you this. Is it going to be Sony or is it going to be Marvel?
Yeah.
Marvel.
You think? I don't know, man. There was a rumor that the Kevin Feige is now an executive producer on the Sony Spider-Man film, so that's going to help him if that's the case. But I can't confirm it, but that's what I heard.
Yeah, it's all about money. You know how it is. These guys flip-flop, look, a billion here, a billion there, and then they make a move.
See, Levi Crush says, never sell blue chip grails. If prices come down by a second, third copy, people getting burned were those books buying speculative books. So he's saying don't buy spec, buy big blue chips, which I get. I kind of tend to agree with you. The problem is that blue chip Marvel keys are so expensive that it's kind of hard to buy one, forget 2 or 3, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That's true.
So Boston Milkshake says Secret Wars number 8, 9.8 newsstand if possible.
Yeah.
Awesome Key Comics says current values favor 252 as of right now. So I don't think you can go wrong with either one, but it's a good question, right?
That's why you
Well,
buy
the
them
ori-
both. Keep them as a set.
Yeah, buy them
Well,
both.
the-
That's probably the best thing to do.
Well, the original art page sold for 3.3 million.
Yeah,
Oh,
I would have
damn.
loved that thing, man. That thing was beautiful. I agree. Like that was a lot of money.
I wish someone would have told me back in the 80s when I first started collecting, buy some art.
Yeah, the only art that I got is really the stuff I get from being a Patreon supporter of the podcast, The Amazing Spider Talk. They, for the tier that I'm at is not. I get things in black and white, not in color. But I got like a Juggernaut, like the Nothing Can Stop the Juggernaut kind of homage, Spider-Man fighting the Juggernaut kind of thing. So, and then the last year was like a print that was in the what was the kid in the leukemia in the hospital or whatever. Is that what is that? I can't think of it. I'm drawing a blank now. But it's like a page from that book in that story where he's visiting the kid and all that. So I that's my only original artwork other than the paintings that I've done myself. So
those are I've seen you post those. Those are pretty good, man.
yeah. Well, I got one over here. I can show you real quick. Since it's my guy and all
original
that.
art is, again, it's a good buy.
Cool.
So
That's
Okay.
awesome, dude.
Yeah, that's cool.
That is really nice.
but yeah.
I like that.
Are you
gotten
selling
better
those?
readers. Oh, I am open to selling that one. I've made a few prints. I'm trying to do things like where I'm trying to sell things. I'm trying to create some prints of things, whatever. So, I could sell if people are interested. But yeah, I mean, I have a few prints of that as well as that I'd sell for. I think I was asking for like 75 for it just because of the size of it. But yeah.
There you go. Anybody out there looking for a painting?
I am fully
work,
open to commissions. So it's basically the price of the canvas plus, I think I had it as like $20 or something like that, plus the price of the canvas basically, and then just shipping. So talk to me. I'll work things out. So
That's cool. Okay.
So
I got another question for you guys. You ready? Do you think graded Daredevil 158 is underrated, being it's the first Miller? Thanks and loving the content. Do you know what he's talking about? I know what he's talking about. The Frank Miller first Daredevil. I guess it's issue 158.
Yeah.
I don't know the price of that book. I remember I had a copy way back when. I paid cheap for it, $40. So I don't think it's an investment, but it's a great book.
Yeah.
I think that's a personal investment. If you really, are into that, being the Miller, then yeah, it's a great buy. I mean, it's up to the person.
I agree.
I am not very familiar with Daredevil as I should be. I'm getting more and more. I'm trying to expand my knowledge where I can, all that. So my only advice is if you think it's worth it, it is. So. So
Yeah, I like Daredevil, but I like it, the Born Again run.
The Born Again run.
Would you Awesome Key Comics asked, would you guys recommend original art or a page of something like Batman one or Superman one? Omega, I'll start with you since you have a lot of original art.
Honestly, there is a market for, the people buying pages from books. Personally, I would take that money and buy some of the original art, the pencils and ink. And again, read up on buying original art. Don't get digital, but you got to read up on it. But I would buy the original art. It's a better investment for the long term.
Darren, you want to weigh in or?
I'm gonna go with a Meg on that. I'm not really familiar with art, so I'm gonna take Omega's advice.
I say depending on the book, go with the page. Since I have a single graded page of Amazing Fantasy 15, so I had to buy a piece of it. So
yeah, and there's a market for that.
Yeah, so considering this, I bought this for like $340, and now if I tried to sell it, I think I could get over definitely like $1,500 easy for it. So the price has definitely gone up for it. Spider-Man's not on the page, but I can arguably say I own a piece of every single book he's a part of for Amazing Fantasy to ASM. So. But yeah.
And see, if you own the original art, a page from it is one of a kind. There's no other. Yeah. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this: it really depends what your budget is, right? If you can go out and afford a piece of original art, I would say go do it. But I like Matt. I've owned a page from Amazing Fantasy 15 before. I no longer have it, but I've done it, and I've owned original art as well. So it all depends what your budget is. But I think in better investment term is probably the art.
Yeah, probably.
But either way, both awesome. Anything else you guys want to talk about? We've been going at it for like an hour and 4 minutes already.
Oh man, I'm kind of tapped out. I got to jump off, get the grill going, but
All right, man. Thanks for jumping on, Omega, man. If
yeah,
you have
and
anything that you're looking for, or I'm looking for, message me on Instagram, Lawrence
yep, I'll do that.
_. All right,
Okay,
bud.
gentlemen.
All right, see you,
Take
man.
care,
Nice
man.
meeting you.
You too.
Take care.
Oh, we got our faces all closed up. You see that?
There you
The
go.
thing is, there we go. Better. Okay. So that's it, man. It's just like, where do you see this going? Like, where do you think the bottom is? I think that a lot of people want to know that question, especially where everything is. Where do you think the bottom is of this market? Are we there, or are things going to go a little further? Or you think now we're ready to go again?
That's a tough one. Depending on how well the movies do, shows, and all that stuff as well. New characters are bringing in. It's crazy because they just introduced they're saying they're doing the Disney Plus show for Wonder Man, and all of a sudden Avengers 9 is starting to go up a little bit, and it was Simon Williams, and I don't know what they're going to do with it. I'm guessing you could connect Wanda and Vision and with the West Coast stuff, but
is that something you would buy though? Avengers #9 or no?
I got Avengers 9. I got
you have it already. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a 2.5. I do have it. I want to clean and press it and send it for CGC, but it's not like I'm gonna put it in my main mantle.
Yeah. So I would say, I mean, I don't know how much of a Wonder Man fan you are, but I would use this opportunity to probably try to sell it, because I would roll that into like a different book where I really, really want that book. Because if it is going up, you might as well take advantage while you can.
I think I'm gonna get it graded first, and I'll probably sell it when it gets graded and that. But yeah, I think Marvel has a lot of opportunities to expand, especially with the horror side with Blade. I love Blade. I think Blade's awesome. But with Blade, you have to bring in Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider's a huge. You've done the videos with Marvel.
I'm a big, huge component. Everybody better buy that book now. And I'll do a little shameless plug, because on my copper job for this week, that book is on it. And I have values that I put up. Watch the value, because it has come down so much. You have to buy it right now. If you think he's coming, now's the time. Okay.
Now the question is which one they're going to use? Are they going to use Cade or Danny Ketch?
I don't know. I have
think
no idea.
And I can see Marvel using Ketch. I can see him doing it, but I would prefer Johnny Cage. But
yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure which one they would use. So
I think they're going to use. I mean, you're talking about
they could use both.
Yeah,
if they wanted to. So yeah, I mean, I'm very excited about the future for the MCU. I am. We got some great villains coming in, and like I said, with Doom and Kang, eventually Galactus, whenever they get to it, which might be a while, but because when you get Galactus, you're gonna get Silver Surfer, right?
Yeah.
Everyone loves a Silver Surfer.
I heard a rumor that on that Guardians of the Galaxy, that winter special or Christmas special, whatever it is, that they're going to introduce the Silver Surfer in that. I have no idea if there's truth to that or not. I just heard somebody say it, literally. So.
Nice.
Oh, you imagine that happens?
I know.
48's gonna.
I hope it's the case, but I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
What
I would recommend, if you guys get a chance, if you're a Silver Surfer fan, go get 48 now. You gotta get it.
Of course. I had a copy I just sold for somebody that they got a steal of a lifetime, because the book has just been. It had dropped so much from where it was like a year ago.
Yeah, I got it in a 1.5. I bought the 3 off of eBay together. They were in rough shape. One was 48 was cover detached, 49 was cover detached and split, and then 50 was, I think, incomplete somehow, and all that. So it was a mixture. But I got all three graded, and the grades that they came back as were valued at more than what I spent for them on eBay, and they've only gone up since then. So I am still willing to give 49 away as my 1,000 subscriber contest prize whenever I reach there. But but I'm never going to part with 48.
That's still a big book. That 49 is worth a lot of money.
Huge book, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm like, I need to get another copy of that book before I give it away as a prize. That way I don't feel bad about letting it go. So, but that's my only thing. So, but I don't know.
But again, are we at the bottom or no? You think it's going further?
Further.
It's
I'm
probably gonna go further, but I don't think it's a result of the hobby, more along just the economy and things like that, But
Yeah.
because hell, people still collect baseball cards, and that's been going around for longer than comic books and all that. So as long as the hobby's still there, fueled by the movies, especially fueled by the movies and TV shows, this is not going anywhere. It's only going to go back up. It's just a matter of time.
The one thing I'll say with baseball cards, football cards, all those cards is that if you buy like a Mickey Mantle card, and Mickey Mantle's no longer playing, right?
Yeah.
If you buy Amazing Fantasy 15 or Amazing Spider-Man 1, we still see Spider-Man stuff everywhere. That's never going to go away. So that's the one thing that I think that comics have over baseball cards and football cards is that they keep reusing the characters. The characters never go away, whereas the baseball players and the football players, they kind of retire and we don't hear from them anymore.
That's true. Yeah. As long as we keep on bringing it in one way or the other, it's only going to go up or going to keep value. So,
yeah, baseball cards is still a big hobby because now they have
It
the
is.
new where they do like the autographs below. Like, let's say their first Bowman Chrome rookie card. Now they have the autographs below for like prospects and stuff like that. I think one thing that killed baseball and just memorabilia in general was all the fake stuff. You know, when you get a comic book and you send it to CGC, you know if it's going to be real. You know what I mean? It's hard to scam somebody on that. But now today, everyone sells stuff, and they, like baseball being autographed by Mickey Mantle or Babe Ruth or whatever, and it's all fake, and then they scam people out. That's why a lot of people got out of the hobby. That was one of the reasons my brother, who was a collector, for memorabilia, stuff like that, got out of the hobby. It's just too many scammers, So that's with comic books, when you send it off, it's gonna come back, especially from CGC or CBCS, whoever you send it to, it's legit. So,
You guys, here's a good question. Being that I have two of you guys in here, I know you said you use CGC, Darren. Matt, you use CBCS. Have you ever had a really bad experience with either company, or it could be PGX, could be EGS? Any bad experience with any of the companies?
CGC, no, maybe just wait time.
Well, yeah.
But I don't know. I never use PGX. I don't. Do you guys use PGX? I don't use them because of sales. They just don't sell as good. And they had a bad rip. I think they're better now. I heard they are better. But I know back in the day they were terrible. With grading and stuff like that. So and I used CBCS before. I hated their cases though. Their old ones. They were so thin and they just look junky. I don't know. Had they changed that? Because the new CGC holders are awesome. I mean,
CBCS cases. I prefer the CBCS cases.
Do you?
They did change it. They did change them.
They did change.
The newer ones I heard. I haven't seen them in person, but everyone I spoke to says they're awesome. The new cases.
They're awesome. Okay, cool.
They're solid as hell. This is a new case here. It's solid as hell. I can't even really bend it and all that, and I can't even see how to get into it. Honestly, I could crack the other one with my fingers if I wanted to, but the new ones I can't do that. But for me, bad experience. The only bad experience I really had with CGC was one book I had sent off through my comic book store once. Came back with a different label. This is not the Superman book I came back. This is a different book. Funny enough, it was actually another book that I sent off at the same time. It was like they copied the label twice. I don't have a huge problem with Newton Reens. I don't like them, but it's not like that. But I didn't have cracked cases or hair or anything there. CBCS, I don't really have a problem with them either. My only thing is I stopped sending books off through my comic book store back when I went to that store. Still, I don't go there anymore because of personal fallout. But I don't want to pay for the membership to CGC to send books off. I use the free membership for CBCS. So my only fault with CBCS is the fanciness of the label is plain compared to CGC. It's just preferred. But I don't know. otherwise, that's the only small complaint. It's mine. It's cosmetic problem, not actual problem. Especially with the upgraded cases, vastly preferred. It's cheaper. It seems like even if it takes just as long or a little bit longer, I'll be fine with it. So I go through CBCS out of convenience, based on I can send it in there, but and then no money spent for membership. Now CGC offered just send the books in kind of a thing. I might consider sending books to them depending on prices and that. But
so let me ask you a question though, because CGC, like the second day membership is $150, but the $150 goes to the grading of the book, so you don't really lose the money.
Yeah. Well,
so that's the only thing.
That's like really only, that's like a one. I just don't see it as the value. I mean, yeah, I'd get that first time there, but if I want to send any more books, that benefit's not there. I still paid for the membership. I don't know. I prefer it the other way, just through CBCS. Yeah. Plus, like I said, I prefer. Here's my graded notes right here every single time.
Yeah, those are nice. Yeah.
So I can post that picture. I can post that picture there if I'm trying to sell it. Going, you want to see the greatest notes? Here you go.
Right.
Yeah. So like Boston Milkshake says, I have an old CGC, very slim one back from back then. I still wanted to get a new updated cover, but afraid it will go down. I know eventually we'll need a reholder. So yeah, I mean, reholder, the grade shouldn't go down unless they do something with the book. Like if they take it out of the holder and they screw the book up, then it will go down, but that's on them. But other than that, if they do their job properly, it should be the same.
Does the CBCS, did they find that they have a census now?
See, they do have a census. I haven't looked at it in a while. They say they did.
Okay. I know before that's when CGC was kind of had the little the census. You know how many are graded 9.6 or 9.8 or.
It's not as good as CGC's from what I know of, but I believe they do have one. So
okay, cool.
Here's another question because Matt, I think, has this behind him. I live in earthquake country. What is the best way to display your graded books on a wall? It seems to be J-channel vinyl might be the best option. Is that what you use, Matt, behind you, the J-channel?
It's what I did use. I changed it before. I have wood. I have like a 1/4 inch wood, and then I have a little thing I can slide back and forth that keeps it from falling forward and all that. But J-channel is very, very effective and nice for that. I would recommend, especially if you put it into a stud and all that. I mean, one thing I didn't do that I would do if I put J-channel back up is I put some sort of support bar or whatever it is underneath the J-channel so it doesn't sag a little bit, because it will sag depending on how long you have it, you know, for the weight. Right. But if you put like a little support thing underneath it for more support, yeah, you're not going to get much more support than a thing that grips it like that. And you just have to slide things in and out, back and forth. That's the only problem. But yeah, J-channel would be very effective, and I would probably go back to that or recommend it for earthquake country. So something that makes sure to leave.
Luis, I've used J-channel as well, and the one if you go back early in my channel, you'll see like this used to be all behind me, J-channel. The one thing, like Matt said, is like you have to slide stuff in and out, because getting it out, if it's done properly, is a pain in the butt. That's why I kind of ended up changing it and just going with regular shelves that I can just lay them against the wall, because I don't live in earthquake country. But it looks nice. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I changed it up to this Mr. Comics method. what I call it. So like I said, it's just a thick board there, and I have a little guard there. You know, funny enough, I kind of designed it to play on categories. You know, that way I don't have to go, oh, I want that book. Slide. I got it right here. I can just go off the wall very easily.
So Matt, did you ever do a room tour?
I have not done an updated one in a while.
You should do one, because I'm gonna say I've seen this, but I haven't seen the rest of the room, and I see a lot of stuff. So you should do one.
Yeah, I should definitely. I've especially since I've cleaned my room a little bit. My brother is kind enough to let me use a spare closet that he has at his house for my excess pops that are not on display and all that, because I only have my office here. You know, we need a bigger house so I can branch out a little bit, because this is it's very hard to get creative with space in my office and not branch out into the house where I might not be as appreciated by the missus. So So
So here's another great question. Brooklyn State of Mind. With the top budget of $400 or $500, which one bronze or silver graded book would you recommend for a long-term hold investment? Now, this is a great question because this is like, I think a lot of people kind of in that same boat. They got about $500 to spend. What's the book that you're looking for that you would buy, silver or bronze? So that's going to be a little harder because the main stuff, silver or bronze, is definitely over $500.
Wow, that's a tough one because let's see, just because everything's really more than 500, you know what I mean? That if you're gonna get your bang for your buck, so man, that's a tough one.
It is very tough.
because my only thing,
Because that's a huge volume of bronze and silver age, you know what I mean?
because the only things that are coming to my mind for Bronze Age really are like 181 and 129 kind of a thing. But unless you're getting low grade,
I don't even think you could get a
No.
0.5 for $500, could you?
Yeah.
181.
my 129 I bought for $800
And what is that
a year and
grade?
a half ago, and it's now worth
Yeah.
$1,300. It's
What
4.5.
grade is that, Matt? 4.5. Okay.
4.5. So it's,
I think with the Bronze Age books, you kind of have to stay like the 4.5 or higher. Really, is like because it's in 1970s, high 1970s at times. So you really have to. There's a lot more of them. So in order for it to be worth your investment, you got to kind of stick to a certain grade. Silver Age, I think you could still own a 2.0 and be all right, depending on the book. But for $400 to $500, I'm not sure you're getting a big key. I would say if you can double that, save enough to where you get to like $1,000 and then do that, that would be my guess. That's what I would do. I would save more.
I think the only one you can maybe get for $500 if they do it right is Adam Warlock. I'm telling you. You can get a Thor 165 for $500, maybe a 4 to 5, but is he gonna be done right? That's the thing. I don't know.
that is kind of in that ballpark, I guess, for his age, but not quite. But
Because if you want to do Blade, you can't get too much directly at 10 for even close to that.
So Awesome Key Comic has ASM 50 and 3.0. I still think it's above 500, but I agree with you. I love that book.
Great book, great cover.
I think it's worth it, but I think 3.0 is still over 500.
Yeah.
I could try to check for you quick and get you the last sale on my phone, but I still think it's over 500. But that's a great option.
Yeah, it is.
I need to upgrade my 50.
What if I up it to 800 to $1,000? All right, so now you have up to $1,000. You ready? I'm gonna go first because I just did a video on this and it's airing Tuesday. So make sure you still watch my video Tuesday before I get you this info. Okay, just watch it anyway. But the last sale for a Marvel Spotlight 5 at a 4.0 was $1,080.
Yeah.
So first appearance of Ghost Rider is around $1,000 at a 4.0. If you can get it for around that price, I'd be all over it. So that would be my thing. But you got to hunt. Somebody's going to sell it for over that. But if you can get it, hey, last sale was I think 1080. Say, hey, last sale was 1080. Sell it to me for 1050. That's a good deal.
Yeah, I agree. Because he's not in MCU. Wait till he gets an MCU.
Yeah.
It's just going to go crazy. Yeah, that's a good one. Marvel Spotlight 5. I agree.
If you could find it, but it's going to be tough. But the last sale was 1080. So that's one I definitely go after. 4.0. 4.0. And it's a CGC.
Yeah.
And anybody who watches my channel knows that I always say go after raw books. If you know that they're complete and you can confirm that it's around the same grade that you're looking for, you'll always get a better deal on a raw book. But you got to learn how to spot defects and be a decent grader but you will get a better deal.
Yeah.
I agree.
But
That's a good one.
So ASM 50, I'm looking it up right now. 3.0, he said, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the last sale for 3.0 was $600, July of 2022. So just over the $500 mark.
Yeah.
So you're close. 2.5 was $550 in June, and a 2.0 was $500 in June. So creeping up a little bit.
Yeah.
I would try to get that little higher grader because that cover is iconic. You know what I mean?
You ready for this one? The 3.5 just sold for $9.59. So this book's about to go up.
Yeah. That's
That's
crazy.
that's a $400 disparity from 3.0 to 3.5. That's crazy.
Yeah. I would definitely say, yeah, go after the ASM 50s, but that'd be probably my recommendation. I mean, if I couldn't decide ultimately for one book for that budget, I'd almost say I'm not going to go after one book. I'm going to go after 10 books for $500 and focus slightly more on late bronze to early modern, books that will take off and will be the future big books, but I can still get them at a price that's a little bit lower. So just spec books.
You gotta exactly. So spec. So you gotta know. You have to. I mean, it's the I don't play a spec game like everybody knows what I collect. I collect the bigger stuff because I'm more confident and that Marvel will go that route. But if you're really good at getting information and knowing, hey, this spec book is really cheap, and I have a feeling this is where the storyline is going, then yeah, absolutely, that's a great way to do it. It's just it's so hard to kind of think and say, oh, follow everything that's going on.
If I just had the money at the time, I would have bought books like, or if I bought the book, I would have bought that Ultimate Fallout or if I had known about it ahead of time, or if I had known and I saw this Gwen Stacy in Edge of Spider-Verse, I would have bought it. Some books like that are right up my alley, I would have bought. It's the other books that are slightly more vague. Like I don't know if I would particularly got Venom 3. I think I passed up on Venom 3, possibly, I think, and all that, the first Null or Null and all that. So, but other books that might have slipped through my fingers, those are the ones I need to be more in tune with. But other books like Gwen Stacy and Miles, I would have bought if I just thought about it or had the money at the time. So it's just a matter of, it's the spec. Half the spec I just need the money to have at the time to get it. And the other spec I just need to pay more attention to.
So Awesome Key Comics said he just bought a Silver Surfer, Silver Surfer 4 and 3.0 is $600 last sale too. That must be going up because I have a 4.5 that I'm selling for a hell of a cheaper than that. So for Silver Surfer 4, wait, you know what? I'm thinking of Silver Surfer 3. I apologize. I'm thinking of the first Mephisto. Silver Surfer 4 at 3.0, $600. I want to say that's high because I went to a show recently. It got a raw copy and I paid $750 for it, and it's like a 6.0. So I want to say that is high for a 3.0. So if you can get that, I think you can get a better grade for $600 in my opinion.
Cool.
So here, Brooklyn says, I just bought an Uncanny 101. That's First Phoenix, right?
Yeah.
For $670, 8.5, and a Cap 100, 8.0 for $750. Did I do okay? By the way, 3 are for my long-term PC. Thanks for helping, fellas. I don't know the prices off the top of my head. I do think 101 is one of my favorite X-Men covers by far. I think that's going to end up being a good buy. The Cap 100, I think, is always going to be a good buy, but I think for $750, I'd rather go after something else. But if you love Cap, then it's a good buy.
They seem like fair prices for me.
Yeah.
But I would try. I mean, I'm a bigger fan of slightly lower grade books. So kind of a thing. So my grade goals would be a little bit cheaper in that regard, but if for higher grades, I'd be willing to pay that for those. So
yeah, the Cap 100 is a good grade. That's a great cover. So, and if you're a Cap fan, you can't go wrong with it. So
yeah, I agree. I mean, it's such a great book. High grade 8.0.
8.0, yeah. So yeah.
All right, guys, I was gonna say I'm gonna end this stream shortly. So if there's anything you want to say, we've been on like an hour and a half already.
Oh,
gotta
wow.
start cooking.
It doesn't seem like an hour and a half. Wow.
I know it goes by quick. Listen, if it's gonna be like this, I'll do one all the time. If you guys want to come on,
anytime Lawrence, I'll hop on with you.
Yeah, I know Matt's usually free too. So I'll post like a thing on Instagram or like I sent that thing out on my YouTube channel. I just don't know if anybody saw it, but I'll do that before I come on. It'll probably be on a weekend. So guys, stay put.
I mean, the only thing I have currently going on is I'm running an idea through my head about possibly doing a comic book related podcast besides the Knockout. Something kind of like what you do for your shows, I guess. It's like I said, I'm not as knowledgeable as you, Lawrence, and all that. I call myself like Average Joe from like Dodgeball kind of a thing, and kind of thing. So I'm kind of thinking of a podcast for people that like me that are learning, who know enough to get into the hobby. And almost like a blog, I'm branching out. Okay, so going into Batman. Here's the keys that I'm looking at, and all that, and what I would recommend. And I'm branching all sorts of ideas around my head. So, I mean, it helped to have somebody, with me to argue off of and talk to rather than just talking to myself. But that's the idea I'm going through, is the idea of a podcast like that, like calling it Comic Collector's Corner or something like that,
That's actually a great name. But where are you going to do that? YouTube or actually like on a podcast thing?
Oh, actually, I want to actually do it on a podcast. I mean, I always treat YouTube as the shows. I mean, it could be, I can use StreamYard to record, or if we want to have like a live question and answer kind of thing, it can be on YouTube. I mean, I might run it through YouTube anyway, just to give myself content on all that, but at the very least, it'll just be recording and untreated as a podcast. I don't know. I'm still details I'm running through my head. So,
All right.
I'm looking for into that idea, but just
all right,
don't know where to go to. So,
Darren, anything else before I end this thing?
No, I want to thank you for having me on. It was great. It was fun. It's fun to talk about stuff like this.
It is, man.
It's a great hobby. It's one of the best hobbies ever, and it's a great community. And you see all the responses on here and people's questions and everything. It's awesome. And if you guys I think Lawrence, I think you do a great job. I listen to you all the time, and keep it up.
Buddy. Appreciate it, guys. So again, look for my thing. I'll try to remember to send you guys messages before I do it. This way you kind of know in advance, hey, I'm coming on. But anyone else there in the community want to jump on, I may do this like on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon. If I got nothing going on, this way, just everybody come on, just talk and ask questions, whatever.
I don't work on weekends, so I'm free on the weekends. So.
Me too.
So.
Same.
All right, guys. Thank you for coming, everyone out there, chat. I will talk to you guys soon.
All right. Happy 4th of July, guys.
You too. Happy 4th. Bye-bye.
All right.